Beautiful.
So hi everyone. We've just been talking earlier, which is a good thing, but I'm still going to welcome you right now. So I can see Sister Doreen. Welcome to the platform. Sister Joy, who's there, is Lerato. Welcome to the platform. And Sister Lynette, welcome as well. Sister Ruth, we welcome you. Thank you very much. And the Thomases, and that is Sister Alice. Welcome, Sister Alice. And welcome, Mrs. Vanda. We see you as well. So we're really glad to be on this platform tonight. Thanks, because we know that it's just a really good thing for women to be able to be together in one place and to be able to share and just to be comfortable to talk as sisters, to uplift one another, to encourage one another along the journey of life. Some of us do not know anything much. We're still very young. Others know a lot and they've experienced a lot and they're able to share and to help their sisters out. So this is, the big reason why we've put this platform together, to just say, let's be here and let us talk together. Let's encourage one another and let's move together on this journey, making sure that every sister is well supported as much as possible. Now, my name is Laureen. I think you can see that on the screen there already. Some call me Yolanda's mom, and others still call me Mrs. Ndebele. And Coach, I'll let you introduce yourself. That's Mrs. Banda right there. I'm calling Coach. Introduce yourself, please.
My name is Rudo Sibanda. Some people call me My Messi. Some call me My Swanda. Some call me Sisi Rudo. Some call me Auntie Rudo. So many things.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. And I'll have somebody else introduce themselves, and that is Alice. You're muted.
Sorry, you can tell I'm new to these things. Hi, ladies. Hello. I'm just so glad to be here. I'm Alice. Well, they just call me Alice or Mother of Five when people can't remember me. So, yeah, Alice with 5 daughters. So, yeah, glad to be here and looking forward to learning more about this menopause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you, ladies, for introducing yourself. Now, the reason why I wanted these ladies to introduce themselves is because the three of us, we are the ones who sat together and decided to come up with this platform, to come up with this ministry, Women's Corner. So we're working and we are coordinating together to just try and make sure that our sisters are supported as much as possible. So we're going to be covering a lot of topics on this platform. Tonight, specifically, we are talking about menopause. You might not be in menopause yourself, but you might know somebody who's in menopause, and you might know somebody who needs help during menopause time at this particular time. Right. Let me just take a second to hand you over to Mrs. Vanda. Do you want to continue just for a second to speak to our ladies regarding our ministry and what we are hoping to do? I can see my gadget is running out of battery and I am seeing it go fading. So I need to just try to make sure that I run out there to get something to get it going.
Okay.
So I'll leave you to carry us through and then I'll be back on.
Thank you. Right. So the dream or the purpose of this platform is really to say, let's have a place where women are comfortable to share ideas, where women are comfortable to gather information and share experiences. Because really, some of these things we assume everybody's coping well, everybody's doing well, but that assumption is not good. So we thought, why don't we encourage each other? Why don't we find a platform where everybody can benefit from other positive experiences or other challenging experiences? And we've heard the first session, we started it last week. So we are hoping these sessions are going to be continuous. And last week we looked at how can we manage our bodies well. And we looked at detoxing, cleansing, and weight loss. And we highlighted that it's not just about losing weight. It's all about just making sure we look after ourselves. And people like me, even if I'm skinny and thin, I need to look after myself, So all the theme of looking after ourselves, we talked about it last week. And the good thing, we talked about the challenges as well. because we realized we are not alone in this journey. We all have some challenges in looking after ourselves. So last week we had a good time to reflect on the challenges. And if you are not here, if you want a recording of that, we can share with you and you can get to see what the other ladies we shared last week. And we did talk about the positives and some positive experiences which people managed to get. And then we also said there are some products which we have in our experiences and our business corner, which we have seen quite useful, and people can start on them and then begin their journey to look after themselves. So it's also going to be a platform to say, what other topics can we talk about? We are welcoming some topics from yourselves. You know, people who've been successful in any areas, mental health, you know, childcare, women's role, all those things. We're going to be really rotating and looking at them, and at the same time empowering each other financially, emotionally, just a corner to support each other. So today we're going to look at menopause, and we realize this topic is big. So we're probably going to have it part 1 and part 2 because it's that big, because it touches a lot of things. Menopause and hormones, actually, that's the topic today. So as you will see from my co-presenter today, she will talk to you of what we've got today, and then I'll take on the second part. Actually, it's going to be a talking platform. So we're going to open the time for people just to share. Be free, you know, to share. Obviously, this is being recorded. If you feel you don't want to say anything, you can type in the chat. We can just read it anonymously without saying your name. If you feel you don't want to say anything being recorded, that's still great. But anyway, feel welcome. This is our platform.
That's right. Thank you so much. Thank you for jumping in there. I had forgotten completely to make sure that that the gadget is still running and that it won't stop on me somewhere midway. So, ladies, let me first give you time before we go any further into any presentation that we may have prepared. Now, we either know of menopause from experience, or we know it because somebody else went through menopause and we heard from them, or we've heard stories of other people who may have gone through menopause. And some have heard horrendous stories, some have heard stories that are not so bad. But we want to hear from you. What has been your experience? Or if you've not gone through it yet, what have you heard generally about menopause? Because there is a lot that can be covered regarding menopause, but we won't be able to cover all of it tonight, but we want to hear from you. Please feel free. You can just unmute yourself. This is your platform as well. It's not just our platform, it's your platform as well. Unmute and let's get going. Yes, I see. Oh, Loretta, go ahead. Go ahead, sis.
One time I was looking through YouTube, some of these health videos, and from what I gathered, you start getting symptoms like 10 years before it actually hits, which is what they call perimenopause. And it was a new thing to me. I was like, oh, I thought when you get to 50, 49, that's when it all starts. But apparently, it's like 10 years before you get some symptoms. So I was wondering if you're going to cover that as well, because it's something we never grew up hearing. We just thought, oh, when you turn 50, yeah, that's menopause.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Sister Loretta. Yes, so she's asking that question. So are we going to be covering that bit about when you sometimes you start to get a lot of symptoms even well before the period has stopped. Anybody else would like to share what they know, what they have heard, or what they have experienced themselves, what you have experienced yourself? Please feel free, just unmute yourself and speak to us.
I have heard others sharing that they just start having hot flashes. They just feel extreme just heat in the body and they sweat profusely. Others have said they've just maybe started having dry lips, no appetite, maybe dry vaginal, you know, loss of interest in just, you know, sexual intercourse, things like that. That's what I've heard. Personally, I haven't experienced, but I think I'm beginning to really open my eyes to see what's happening.
whether you are in it without knowing. Right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Vanda. Anyone else who would like to speak to us about either their experience or whatever they may have heard regarding menopause?
Good evening, ladies. I have heard from a friend that she started experiencing these symptoms, but there's medicines that you can get that will prep your body for the actual time when it comes. So premenopausal treatment that you can get. I'm sure you're going to talk about that as well. But also changing of your lifestyle and understanding your body and knowing how to respond to your body, listening to your body and making changes that will benefit your body. So it's not all about drugs, but there are things that you can actually do to be able to go through the menopause.
Right. Thank you so much, Sis Shami. Thank you very much. Welcome to those who have just joined us. I see we've got people who are still coming in, and that is really great. Welcome. So has anybody else got a comment on that? Something that they would like to contribute? Something you have heard or whatever you may have experienced regarding the issue of menopause? Right. So we're going to still give a chance to anybody who would like to speak even after the presentations have been done. So it is still well, because you might have questions or you might have a comment that you feel needs to be made. Because as we keep stressing, and it's very important that we do, it's all our platform. So we're not the ones, so we're not standing from a standpoint of saying we want to come and benefit you. We are coming from a standpoint where we are saying, sisters, let's benefit one another. So we will find that on this platform, there will be somebody who would have the proper information that we all need to know, that we all need to have. So feel free. If you have the information or you have anything else to say at all, let us know, and just, have a good go at it. And we'll be really glad to hear from you. So menopause is not a simple thing for women in general, because although there's a time that is being set, like they normally say 45 to 55 years. Between that time, you generally can tell that something is becoming different in the body. When you're young and you're coming to your teenage years, you can see there's a difference that's starting to take place there, because certain hormones are starting to have the dominance, and things are beginning to change to make one into a woman that they ought to be in order to have children. So when you get to a certain point, as you keep getting older, you get to that point where those hormones are lessening, because you're not going to need to continue having children. You're not going to need to continue being the woman that you were before. You're getting older, so things are getting less and hormone levels are getting lower, female hormones. I'm not going to go too much into the technicalities. So these are the years. They normally talk about 45 to 55 years. But I have known friends of mine who have gone into this thing much, much earlier than 45 years. And I am very sure that I started going into menopause well before that, and I will explain why in a minute. So it's different for different women, this issue of menopause. So you can look for a particular time set, but you might find that you may be in it much earlier, or you may be in it much later than the times that are being written on there. Especially if you're going to Google it, the times that they normally say. So that's one thing to note. Just know your body really well and watch it, what it's doing, how it's doing. We're going to be talking about symptoms as well at a later stage. So that's the time, and the fact that everything is different for every woman. Now, they normally talk about menopause as the time when your period stops. If your period stops this month and next month you don't have a period, you should not consider yourself to be in menopause. So you have to look rightfully at a period of 12 months. So within 12 whole months without a period at all, then you can begin to say, I think stuff has caught up with me, right? So sometimes you may begin to have symptoms like what Sister Loretta said. You may begin to have symptoms well before the period stops. That's what they call perimenopause, because you're showing all the symptoms of menopause, but your period is still there. But then you come to a point whereby it starts dwindling, because the body never does anything in a hurry. It doesn't just do jerky, stop now kind of thing. There is a time, a period of time. Usually it's a range of time. So it will start happening slowly, slowly. You see like dwindling on the period until the period actually does stop. And you might be experiencing symptoms all the way through. Like that. Now, there are different reasons why a person might go into menopause. I used to think it was one reason, that you're getting older, therefore you're going into menopause. And that is only one reason. But another reason could be that there are certain treatments that can put you in menopause, like cancer treatments. You might actually go into menopause because of those. And other medicines that you might be taking, you might actually go into menopause because of those. Or if you've had surgery to remove your ovaries, you might find yourself that you are in menopause because of those, or they might be genetic reasons. So all these things are pretty much out there. If you Google it, you'll be able to actually see the information. So there are those reasons that you can work with, that you can look at to just try and see what is happening there. Now, we're going to have a little look at, I just need to pull up my list here, of what things you can expect. Oh dear, sorry. I think I'm catching something because I've been with the kids and they're sniffing and they're coughing and they're doing all manner of things, and I find I'm actually starting to do the same. Now let's just have a little look at symptoms and see. Like I said, I'm only going to give us some direction on where to head, but the rest of the bits we can actually come up with ourselves so that we can do a bit more research on it. But I'm happy for anyone to come in there and give in some information that will be good for all of us to know. Some of the symptoms that women have been talking about when they talk about menopause, like Mrs. Wanda said, is the issue of hot flashes. In fact, that's the only thing that I knew for a long time, that if you're in menopause, you'll be having hot flashes, because that's all people ever really talked about. I didn't realize that the list was really actually quite long on the symptoms that you might have. So it would be a good idea to just take note of your body and see if some of this that you might be experiencing may be the case, that you might have started either your perimenopause or the menopause itself. Hot flashes, they might start in the face and they might spread. Yeah, face going down, neck, shoulders, or they might spread right through the body. And when you have those, sometimes you might begin to actually really proper sweat and you feel that I'm really, really sweating. Now, this can be regular. Sometimes they can be overnight while you're sleeping. You might find that you're sweating a lot, you're getting really, really hot, or you can't stand the heat of any kind. You know, people put on the heating and you're thinking you're boiling, you're almost wanting to pop out of your skin. It can get really that bad. When I was having hot flashes, I felt like I needed to bust out of myself. It was really awful. It was that bad. I just had to run and I start taking clothes off and throwing them everywhere. But I wasn't even knowing what was happening. I thought I was sick. I thought I had a cancer or something, to be honest. Then there's the difficulty sleeping. All of a sudden, you used to sleep really well, but you just can't. You just can't sleep. And for the life of you, you cannot say why. You start doing natural remedies, you start doing this and you start doing that, you drink this, you drink that, but none of that is working to sort out your sleeping problem. It can become really that bad where you can try, but you see it's not shifting. So some people have some really severe sleeping difficulties with the menopause. Sometimes you have heart palpitations that can actually happen. You begin to think, well, am I having an anxiety attack? Am I having what is it that I'm having? Am I having a heart issue? But that's just because of the changes that are taking place in the body. Although it can be frightening at times, but that's what it is. And also headaches and migraines. That's something to expect during that time as well. You might really be getting those, and they might actually be regular. For some people, they're not regular. They're just here and there, but enough to have you thinking about what is it that we're having, change in body shape and weight gain, especially around the middle here. You might just be thinking, right, I'm not doing anything to get that tummy, but I just seem to be bloated. I just seem to have this issue going around the middle here. What is it? It's very possible that these changes are beginning to take place in the body. And some people, it might be just, the weight gain might just be all over. You are just really getting big. You can't control it. You don't know what's happening. That might be the issue. Reduced sex drive, yeah, that does happen very much, without a shadow of doubt. Just the issue of not wanting to have any, and you do not know what's wrong, because you used to be so very normal, and now everything is not as normal as it's supposed to. And as Mrs. Vanda said as well, vaginal dryness. You might have pain there, you might have itching and discomfort. That might all come together as a package, or you might have some of it and not all of it. With all these symptoms, you don't normally get all of them at once. For different women, it's different specific ones that really tend to take the upper hand. So you just need to know your own body and just to be aware what within your context is operating there, so that you can just give that little thought and search it out to see what it might be. Some women start to get joint pain, and I know I got some serious joint pain as well that I definitely had. Or you may begin to have some bad odor, like when you sweat. When you sweat, you're not supposed to stink anyway. You're just supposed to sweat, and then you go, you bath, and then you're good again. But sometimes you'll find that because of bad bacteria, that starts to operate a lot more on your skin. When you sweat, after just a short time, not even a long time, you start to smell that the sweat is really gone awful. It smells bad. You constantly have to be washing, bathing. You constantly have to be doing something with personal care in order not to pollute the environment where others would be, because you just be so self-conscious. These are the things that start to make women sometimes really very self-conscious, not wanting to go out in public to do anything because of what's happening. Or sometimes you might start to get really clumsy. You're aiming to pick something up. You used to be so accurate, for all of a sudden, instead of picking it up, you're knocking into it. You're knocking into things. You're just not doing things as well as you used to before. Or you might have as well changes in hair. I mean, I thought I was going to lose all my hair. At some point I said, you know what, I'm going to cut all the hair and start again, because I wasn't even sure what's happening with the hair. I remember my husband saying, whoa, your hair seems to have changed color. So it was not going orange, that kind of changing color, but it had become dull, like it's grayish. It's got no shine. It's just dull hair that is just there, and it's breaking and falling constantly. So you might have those changes in color, in texture, and in the volume of your hair that might actually change when you're going through these changes. You might also see breast reduction and some tenderness in the breast as well. So as far as I could gather together, these are some of the things that you might have. And I forgot one, which is UTIs, urine infections. So those become really, really, well, not for everybody, but for some, they really get those. And on a very regular basis, they need to see that they can be doing something about them. So these are some of the things that might come when you're looking at menopause. But for sure, menopause is not the same for every woman. Some women sail through it. Some women, it's symptoms here and there. And other women, it's so horrendous and bad that it needs to be sorted. If it's not sorted, then it causes a whole lot more trouble. And some of the risks that we might actually give a thought to when we are going through this, or even before, really, give a thought to it. When you're having this menopause issue, you are at a higher risk of heart diseases. You're at a higher risk of cancer. And then we've got the issue of osteoporosis, when the bones are just not as strong as they should be. bones change, bones become weak. When they used to be really strong, you used to manage everything. Now you're in a worry that if I fall, the bone is just going to shatter. It's not going to break normally like a bone would break. Then they set it and you put it together, but it actually shatters and you're not able to do anything about that. So those are the risks. So it's good to just take care of you, take care of your body, do something that will bring you to a place whereby you can now say, right, I'm supporting my body as best again along this journey. So it's a whole journey. It's not going to take a short time. It takes a long time for the body to actually go through this perimenopause, going through menopause, and even post-menopause, because you might end up having symptoms even after the menopause is finished. You might still be having a symptom here, symptom there. Other people, they find that their symptoms are gone after the menopause is done, but other people still have those symptoms continuing. So it's important that we know how to support our bodies during such a time as this. Now, I'm not going to go further than this because I didn't want to bring to us too much and load us down with the scientific issues. I wanted to just raise the issue. But nevertheless, if we feel that we need more information, we are able to do part 2. Then we can go into what hormones are in operation at what time of a woman's life and how do these hormones affect what at what time. We can also go to that if you so wish. For now, because we've got 2 presentations, it was important that I keep to time. So we're going to have Mrs. Vanda, who's going to be speaking to us and just to try and help us to see what other things can we do to assist ourselves, to assist our sisters, our mothers, our brothers, and no brothers, to assist our mothers and our sisters, and many other women that we know, to be honest, in our environment. So over to you there, Mrs. Vanda. You're muted. Yeah, we can't hear you because you're muted. Did you mute yourself?
Sorry, sorry. When I'm looking for where's the button? Where's the button? And you cannot find it. Right. We want to welcome you. Thank you for coming in. I can see Sister Yvonne. Thank you for coming. I can see Sister Rejoice. I can see Sister Bridget. I can see JD. You're welcome. I can see Sister Mel. I can see Sister Di, Sister Sophie, Sister Doreen again, Sister Ruth, Sister Lynette, Sister Shamiso, Sister Lerato. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate your time to spend with us. Yes, it is indeed a privilege for us just to share some ideas. Has anybody any comments from what has been shared? We want to make this
Just check your temperature.
we want to give people a chance just to reflect on what they have heard and what they can, give.
Don't touch my phone.
Because it's our time for us to give ourselves that time to really just have a chat. The Women's Corner, Any comments? Any thoughts? We go to the next section.
Don't throw those.
Mama Biri. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments before we go?
Yeah, I was just gonna add a lot of those symptoms that Laureen mentioned, I appreciate, because a lot of them I was able to resonate, with what I've heard and also what I've experienced myself. So thank you again for just sharing that, thus far. And I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Thank you.
So, but I was gonna also make a comment. I know she said, we can help also our brothers, and she quickly changed and said the women, but also the brothers, because sometimes they do not know or they're not sure as to what's happening, and they cannot explain and they cannot even support their wife during that time. So it's nice also to be able to share if you've got a brother about it, so that if he's got a wife, he knows, what he can look out for, and that to be there for as a support,
That's really true. That's really true. So thank you so much. This brings us to our second part of the presentation. As already said, my name is Rudo Sibanda. So I want to just say, this topic is quite big, so we are mindful. We don't want to keep people long. This is just going to be a nice short hour to reflect, think about things, and then we move on, so we don't get to drag the presentation. So I'll try to squeeze in as much as we can. Now, I've got this little chart here, which I always want to say, first of all, there is research saying, there are ways which we can help us to come to, when we come to that situation of menopause, there are ways which we can be incorporating or including or putting in our lives, so that when that time comes, the body is not going to be so much shocked, kind of thing, because it's going to be a really rocking time where it can throw you off. You can throw you off, your feet. But research is saying there is always a way to look after ourselves. And some of the principles which are coming in is definitely things which we already know. And I know we talked last week as we were sharing some challenges. Some of these things are not easy to put into practice. But let's face it, girls, if we don't talk about it, we're probably not going to think about doing it. So this is a platform for us to talk about it. So we've got a little acronym here, NEWSTART. So I'm going to count it as new start. So it's like a new start. Okay. These are just acronyms which normally show some 8 principles of health, which overall, if we look into it, that's basically what we need to start thinking about today. We need to start thinking about today. Now, when you look at this picture, you're going to think, oh no, all those things, nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, you want a proper rest, you want some exercise, you want to be moderate in what you're doing, and trust. What are these things? Is too overwhelming. That's a lot. But just to break it down simply, all we are saying is the best nutrition you can have is from your fruits and vegetables, whole grain, plant-based diet. That's what research is showing. Now we can look into that into detail. Obviously, today we're just saying these are just a snippet of what we are going to be encouraging us to think about. Activity, we already know activities out there. We are being encouraged just at least to walk. You can even do it indoors. That's the good thing. And water is no brainer. We all know that water is good for our bodies, but do we really drink it? That's the thing. So it's about really thinking about these things and how we can put them into practice. We know the benefits of sunshine. Now we haven't got sunshine. What can we do in place of that? Now, temperance simply means we need a right balance in life and saying no to things which don't help the body, because there are things which definitely don't do well to the body. Those things, we need to rule them out. We are saying the cigarettes, uh, drinking or things like that, things which are very harsh to the body. It totally puts you at a higher risk of having some effects, things like that. And we know there are things we can't control, pollution and things like that. But still, we are saying let's try to keep things which are not supposed to be in our bodies out of the way, things like smoking, which we can say, if you're really struggling with that, you need to look for help and get some professional support around that, how you can come to stop. And air simply means you need the fresh air. The body needs oxygen. The body needs the negative ions. The word negative ions, actually, I've just come to learn about it. It simply means you need to go to places where the air is much cleaner, if you like. If you go near the ocean or the seaside or into the garden or in the park where there's lots of trees, those places normally give the good type of air which you want, because we are always breathing in pollution. So we are saying the body needs this. That's why there's always encouragement to have a simple walk in the outdoor. People who've got pets, I used to think, oh, what are they doing? But it does help them to really get out there, get some fresh air, and come back. And there's rest. Rest is all about how much are we working? Are we overworking ourselves? Are we really doing justice to our bodies? And then trust. Trust, we're saying we've got to trust in our creator, in our God who made these wonderful machines, because our bodies are machines. You talk of Mercedes, you talk of the those posh cars, the Benz or whatever type of cars. They've got a manufacturer, and the manufacturer knows how to fix the car or to get the right parts. If the body, if the any part of the car needs to be looked into. So for ourselves, our bodies, we are definitely given that special body by our God. So we need to have that thought of who really gave us these bodies. Now, this is just a small image to say what I've talked about. This is the things we need to be considering. A lot of fruits, a lot of whole grains, and whole grains is foods which are not removed the husks, which have got the whole food. They are not removed the good things, things like white flour, white rice, white cornmeal or powder mills. You need plants which are still in their whole state. And we've got vegetables, we've got legumes, and we've got just an image to say, let's just do something to keep our bodies active. These are the things we are talking, which can begin to help our bodies. Now, this is just a snapshot of what I got when I was just reading through some things which can help the body. There's a whole lot of cruciferous vegetables. This is just an image here, which I put there, sorry, in the corner here, of just some cruciferous vegetables, which are known to be good. They say flaxseed is good for especially for aiding estrogen levels. These are the things you can begin to put. Now you think, oh, am I going to do all this? Oh, it's too much. Things like turmeric, things like spearmint tea, things like avocado, all these are known to help just the body to get that balance, because obviously it's now getting into imbalance because of those changes which are happening in the body. There is some need for outside nutrients to come into the body to help give that balance, because obviously things are just happening in the body and they're going to create havoc. So the body needs to be looked after. Now, if we begin to implement these things before the time comes, it's going to give the body a bit of stability, a bit of a buffer to fall onto, because it's going to be able to manage those harsh things. So in a nutshell, we are saying, let's have our diets looked into, our lifestyle looked into. This is a bigger picture which we are looking into. But there are some things we can begin to look at, because sometimes where we are and the situations where we are, we're all in different places. Sometimes we need to start at a point where because our body is already probably stressed, is already experiencing havoc, and we begin to need to do some emergency actions. And what I mean by that is where you begin to think, I need to supplement some things because it's been a long time I haven't been doing this. For us to begin to give all that body what it needs, it might be challenging, it might take us time, and it might put us in a situation where we think, oh, you know what, I'm overwhelmed, I can't be bothered. And then you forget about it. But you begin somewhere. You begin somewhere. So tonight's presentation is just going to give you some thought to some things which we have in our experience that they can help you. Now, we are currently linked up with some products which are from Forever Living. Those of you who have heard about Forever Living, it's a company which is based in America. It's been running for the past 44 years, and they are encouraging some health tips which can help a lot of people out there and which can help people improve their health and well-being. They base their products on one of the main power plant, or one of the nature's gift, if you like, called aloe vera. And this aloe vera is grown organically. They don't put herbicides or chemicals. They try to keep it as close to nature as possible. And they've got these natural supplements, which they also see they are in nature, and they try to encourage us people to really think about our health, especially if the supplements are from nature, the better, the body recognizes it better. So things like cranberry, this is just a snapshot to say cranberry. I know when my co-host presenter, Sister Laureen, she talked about how urine infection can become an issue when you are getting to the stage of healthy and menopause. So things like cranberry is a natural remedy for urinary tract infection. And we've got royal jelly. Royal jelly, I'll come on to show you the pictures. Royal jelly is just one of the substances which comes from the bees, one of the the beehives, where it comes from the honey. This royal jelly, it helps to balance hormonal changes in the body during the menopausal period, or before, or even after. So what we are saying is there are things in nature which we can think about and we can begin to put into practice straight away without getting overwhelmed about the bigger picture of changing, because obviously changing, we need to look at about how are we going to do it so that it's sustainable. Because if you do it 2 days, you leave it, you're really not doing justice. So it needs us to think of a holistic plan, ways to start doing it, and then we can implement our lifestyle so that it changes to the better, not just to say we rely on supplements. Now, supplements are good, especially if they're natural. They're going to be helping the body. The body can recognize them better and utilize them better. But it's not a way to replace a healthy lifestyle change. The things I talked about initially, we are talking of a lifestyle change. And some of the lifestyles make it worse when we come to that stage of hormonal imbalances or the menopause stage. It makes it so hard because the body's going to really fight, because we are putting a lot of pressure on it. One, already we are stressed with our jobs. Secondly, we're not giving our bodies nutrients. We are probably eating a high-fat diet. We are eating high-sugary diet. We are not active exercising. We're not drinking water. We are not sleeping on time. We are stressed. There's a lot of havoc. So all those things put the body out of shape. All those things put the body in havoc. And then the body will struggle. And that's what we're saying. Let's start to think about it. So as I continue, there's also soya protein. There's I will show you the images of what we've got. This is known to help reduce discomfort during the menopause and essential for cell skin repair and maintenance. And also there's a need to input your omega-3s into your diet. So there is other supplements like fish oil. Those who don't take fish oil, you can also consider, I've talked about flax seeds. Flaxseed produce the lovely omega-3, and you can be incorporating it into your diet. And there's need for you to have vitamin C regularly. So in a snapshot, these are some of the things we can think about. So I talked about aloe vera. Our aloe vera is naturally grown, as I've already said, and it's hand filleted, and it is gently separated by hand. Now, when I'm saying by hand, aloe vera is a delicate plant. When it's matured, actually, this aloe vera is exposed in sunshine for about 6,000 hours, and it takes about 3 to 5 years for it to grow to maturity, and they use the plant called the Barbadensis miller, and that one is aimed to help. It actually is been known to have the maximum number of nutrients. And if you look at aloe vera itself, it's got most of the nutrients which the body needs. We are talking of our body needing good nutrients, good building blocks from the cell level. Now, those who did biology, I'm not very well versed into the scientific language, but what I know is the body starts to repair our things from cell level. So in the cell will need the right nutrients. If you're going to be having too much sugar, if you're going to be having high-fat diet, you're not giving your body justice. So aloe vera is known to have one of the natural nutrients. And the good thing with this plant is separated. The inner leaf gel is the one which is used here. So they separate it between, the green skins, which are here, they are not supposed to be ingested. These green leaves, they're not supposed to be ingested. When I was growing up, my mom used to give aloe vera to chickens. After a few days, you'll see them, they've changed. We used to drink as well aloe vera, but we didn't know that the green skins are not to be ingested, and we'll be running to the toilet, honestly. Oh, dear. But we didn't know that the inner leaf gel is the only one to be eaten. And they take the green skins here and they put it back into the field to act as manure. So that's how they organically grow it. So the inner leaf gel, that's the one we are talking about, which I was saying is one of the natural supplements which we have, and you can consider to have it. Now, on one of the, this is the 99.7, as close to nature as possible. There are no preservatives, as I've already said. So it's as close to nature as possible. Of course, if you got the plant, which has grown 3 to 5 years exposed to sunshine, the better, But because we are here, we are saying, let's try to find the best things in nature, which we can. So if you drink your aloe vera, now remember I talked about how cranberry can help the urinary tract. We've got different flavors. We've got the flavor which is called the berry nectar. It's also got the cranberries. Now the cranberries are good for urinary health. So you're going to have the benefits of aloe vera. Aloe vera generally helps boost the immune system. It helps to produce good gut health. And it also helps the absorption of nutrients, because what it does, the aloe vera gently cleanses the villi. When you look into the intestines, there's the little finger-like things which help to absorb the nutrients. Now, sometimes they are clogged because of the things we eat. But aloe vera, what it does, it gently removes the things which are clogged around the villi so that there's good absorption of nutrients. So you benefit in that good gut health. It's going to repair you're going to keep your body the nutrients from the aloe vera, and it's going to feed into the cells. You're going to have good skin, good hair, good nails. So it's repairing and it's giving your body from the inside part of the body before you even think of the outside. So already we're saying in terms of nutrients, you're getting things from nature which are going to help your body. So in addition to your fruits and vegetables, you can consider things which are going to be helpful to your body, which are going to enhance. So great for digestion, good for just boosting your immune system. It's also good for just promote your health and well-being. And what we are saying is you feel good. It's going to make you have those energy levels increased. And you're going to have that pride to say, you know what? I'm getting my strength back. I'm not grumpy. I'm not less lethargic, you know. So these are the things we are saying is good. Now they say aloe vera, it only hasn't got vitamin D. Everything else you can find in there. Now everything else, you're talking of how many things? All the good things which the body needs. I'll probably not go into detail with that. So the next thing which we can say you can consider is the bee pollen. Bee pollen is another lovely natural food which is found in nature. Bee pollen is loaded with nutrients. It's loaded with protein, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. These are things from nature which you can just include into your lifestyle. You can include into your daily habits. Because what we are saying is when you're eating daily, just think, what am I putting in my body? Is it going to benefit my body or is it going to disadvantage my body? That's the thing we need to think about. So we are saying you can enjoy this one. These are actually, they are just put in tablet forms, so you can simply just ingest it. Some people buy bee pollen, which is into granules. You know, it's like little rice. You sprinkle it into your food. Some people don't like the taste of it, but this one is put into a capsule. You just take it and drink. But just make sure you're not allergic to pollen. Some people might react, but a lot of people will say it actually helps it also acts as a natural antihistamine where you take it gradually and increase the size. You can start with a quarter tablet of bee pollen and then increase it. When the summer comes, your body is actually in, protected or already fired up. Now, we always advise people, if you're already on any medication or any program from the doctors or any, underlying health conditions, we encourage you to speak to your doctor and make sure you talk to your doctor. The reason we do that is you can monitor the changes. When the changes are positive, your doctor can reduce medication so that you're getting that support. We are not medically qualified to say stop your medication and just use these things. No, what we are saying is natural supplements help to support and help your body to do the things which it needs to do naturally. We are giving your body your good building blocks. That's what we are saying. And for other things, we can't say stop, but we are saying you can consider working together with your doctors. We've got a lot of people anyway who've got different health conditions. They go and speak to the doctor, and the doctor begin to see the good changes. And it's a teamwork, the doctor can then reduce your medication. Now we've got the royal jelly. Whoa, this is my favorite. I didn't know when I was just reading about it. I got excited. Royal jelly is made naturally from it's actually it actually says extremely nutritious and biochemically complex honeybee secretion. Now it's a rich milky substance. It contains proteins, simple sugars, fatty acids, trace elements of vitamins B5 and B6. And these are the things that we need to put in our body. Because you will see that when we are getting into this menopausal phase, we're going to be groggy, our mood is going to be changing. And some of us, we lack the B vitamins, we lack them because of our lifestyle. We probably don't think about what am I eating and putting in my body. And these things will help you and will help you think about what am I putting in my body? Now, did you know that the queen bee only eats royal jelly? That's the food for the queen bee because it's meant to give the queen or the mother of bees or the queen mom longevity. Wow. So it lives over 50 times longer than the regular worker bees. So this is special food for the queen, How more precious are we like the queens? Yes. So that's another lovely natural thing you can consider. Now you heard me talk about when I was on the other slide about the soya protein. You can consider we got this lovely shake. It's a soya-based shake, and it comes with it comes with nutrients which are already balanced. Now this shake comes, you can take it on its own. You just put in any milk, plant-based milk, if you like. Some people still use cow's milk. That's fine. You can do that. And then you can just shake it up, and then you have it comes like complete meal, so you can have it to replace a meal. You can add it into smoothies. A lot of people like it when just different berries. You make your smoothie of berries. You just put a little bit of a powder, make your nice meal supplement, and you can enjoy your soya protein there. So you know that it's a great source of vitamins and nutrition, and it complements a low carbohydrate lifestyle. If you are reducing carbs, you want to reduce carbs, you can choose to have your complete meal. Let's say for breakfast, you're just gonna have a smoothie, but make sure it's complete with the nutrients that you need, because it has the vital vitamins and minerals that you need. So there is the chocolate flavor, there is the vanilla flavor, so you can choose which one you like. Now we've got the vitamin C. Vitamin C is really required daily. Now we talked about how you can get your vitamins from natural sources, things like lemons and things like that, or oranges. But I'm saying some people, we are not up to scratch with doing all those things, running around and make sure you got your lemons every day. We're all just going to be saying, oh, you know what, I'm not bothered. But those are the things we are saying, start somewhere. If you haven't got any source of vitamin C, at least take a supplement so that you begin a journey of looking after yourself. And then obviously gradually move into your vegetables, fruits, so that you can have a very strong lifestyle, which is based on improving your wellness. Now we've got also in supplements for vitamin D. Now vitamin D, there's actually research which is saying from the Journal of Nutritional Research, a lot of people are deficient of vitamin D, especially in the winter times, because we don't have sunshine. Remember, my first slide was saying we need some sunshine, and this is the time we don't have the sunshine. We're always cold. We're putting on clothes, and we don't have that ability to absorb the vitamin D. We really need the vitamin D. Now, as a hormone itself, vitamin D can aid in estrogen imbalance. Now, remember, we are talking about how we can improve our bodies before, during menopause, or after. Let's just have a lifestyle of already making sure we're getting the nutrients we need. I talked the importance of vitamin C. I talked the importance of natural sources, getting the nutrients, vitamins, amino acids from natural sources. Now we've got the vitamin D. Vitamin D is important as well. We need to take it. So if your body isn't really having enough vitamin D, you need to consider that, because it can help in balancing our body. So this supplement which we've got here, they've actually taken the some of the vitamin D from the types of mushroom called mitake and shiitake mushroom powders. Mushrooms have got some little amounts of vitamin D, so they've taken this from these natural sources of mushrooms to put into the supplement of vitamin D. And they've also added vitamin C and zinc, because the combination of these two, it helps the normal functioning of the immune system. So a combination of vitamin D and the zinc and the vitamin C, it's actually encouraged so that your body can really thrive. So there are different products anyway with vitamin D, which we can say you can choose from. The one I showed you is this one, the Emu Blend. There is another natural supplement from fruits and vegetables. It's a natural supplement you can have. You take one tablet. It's got a balanced nutrients for each day if you want to be taking the supplements. And there's the one for the children, which is also fruits and vegetables. And then they've also have got all the balance of things like iron, calcium, recommended daily amounts. And, these are the products you can choose to have. Now, I can also introduce you to another product which you can consider having. I'll probably talk about this maybe another time. I'll introduce you to this lovely herbal tea. Now, this herbal tea, it is all natural, naturally low in calories and naturally derived from different herbs. Now, a lot of the ingredients which are there, we've got the chamomile, we've got the cardamom, we've got the ginger, we've got geranium sylvestre, we've got the aloe blossoms. These are blossoms from the aloe plant. And we've got the cloves, we've got the allspice, we've got the orange peel, cinnamon. So this is packed with goodness. A lot of people have talked of how this helps them to calm down, because it's caffeine free. It's going to give you that time to say, just relax, just calm down. Now, I'm going to probably, if we've got time, I'll ask a testimonial about this herbal tea, just so we can hear how it has helped somebody, because we are saying Some people have used this thing and they found the difference. That's what we want. We want the stories of other people and how they found other things helpful. And you can consider that. Now, there is also another product called the Nature Min. It's it's perfect multi-mineral blend. It helps to support muscle, brain, thyroid function. And you know that minerals also play a vital role in our everyday immunity. Now, when I say if everyday immunity, we are looking at things which the body needs. You know, we remember we talked about how our bodies probably don't have enough building blocks, enough nutrients to build our immune system. Now, this natural, this perfect multi-mineral blend is taken from ingredients from the seabed, under the sea. You know, they talk of sea salt, they talk of all those good things, and they talk of one of the other things which I've heard about, which come from under the sea, is the word has just had come out of my head. What is it? The one which has got iodine. Somebody remind me. I need
Is it
sushi.
kelp?
The sushi, the one which makes the sushi wraps. What do you call it?
Kelp. Is this seaweed?
Seaweed.
Nori.
Yes. Seaweed.
Nori.
Seaweed.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
you
remembering
could call it.
seaweed. Yes.
Um,
Seaweed as well is quite good. Now, this seabed of multi-minerals, they've taken it from under the sea. So that, you know, they've got a balance of calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, iron, manganese, and zinc. So you can consider taking this natural supplement because, you know, it's from the seabed. They've taken it from nature. Make sure the body's going to get those things. And it's actually measured so that you can have your daily recommended supplement of your minerals if you're lacking. Now, I'm planning to go and get my bloods taken. Blood test, have a full count, see what I'm lacking, take this Nature Min and see the difference after that. That's my plan because I really want to make sure, because I'm low in iron, I want to make sure I do that because I've heard a lot of issues of low iron and I've been trying to do, you know, the greens, all the things, but my iron is not changing. So I'm monitoring myself to see how I can improve that. So that's me. I'm working on myself. But what we are saying is we have things which you can start working on so that you can get your body to have the balance of minerals and they can begin, you know, your body can begin to have the goodness which it needs. So we know that iodine contributes to the normal cognitive function and normal production of thyroid hormones. So these are things which are in there. So they are, you know, minerals which are really going to help support your body. And now there's one for a product which has been put together for women. It's called Vitalize. Vitalize has got natural ingredients like the cranberry powder, apple powder, passion powder, and Shisandra berry. So Shisandra berry is actually used for normalizing blood sugar and blood pressure, stimulating the immune system and speeding recovery of after surgery. That's the Shisandra berry powder. Now the passion flower here, I love it. Love to see this natural thing. Is promoted as a dietary supplement for anxiety and sleep problems. So you can see it actually helps menopausal symptoms, you know, and things which have to do with irregular balance of, you know, of our hormones. So passion flower is known to have those properties which are actually meant to target our issues which we're talking about today, you know, the menopausal symptoms which begin to come and create havoc. Apple powder is known to also have, it's high in fiber and it's a rich source of antioxidant and compounds known as polyphenols. So you can know that, you know, this product has been put together with thought in mind to say, what can we put together to help the body combat the issues which women face? Now, this is actually targeted for women. Now, they've also added vitamins D and C, B6, B12, because usually folic acid and iron, because these are known to be considered as, if they're not there, they help, they if they're not there in the body, they create havoc, especially when we're talking of the issues of regulating hormonal activity. It can affect that. So this is meant for women to really think about how they can incorporate this and add into their daily lifestyle in terms of improving their health and wellness. Now, there's another product called the Maca. We've got multi-maca. Now, this product is actually combined with other natural ingredients. There's a Muira puma. I won't be able to pronounce this one. And the Tribulus terrestris. Now, all these have been known to be very common to improve the, it's actually both for males and females. They say it helps the body's sexual, the libido, if you like, or the health around improving the the sexual health. Actually, I want to run away from that word. Actually, I just need to say it. That is, I'm trying to find a better word. So maca is an excellent herbal remedy for hormonal imbalance, so it helps to regulate the cycles which you've talked about around, symptoms of menopause. It's also, it's actually a sweet root from Peru, and these benefits are known to have been improved in people who were taking it. Clearer mind and better memory, balance of mood, improves, monthly menstruation cycle, and it helps the fertility, gives you more energy. Some women actually, so you just need to be careful, not to be taken as a lifetime thing where you depend on it. Just take it a period of time and see how your body works, because obviously the body works in different ways. So when you see, because it says here, just be careful, maca not to be taken by some women because some women felt sick. Just make sure that the supplement contains pure maca and you take it on a full stomach. Don't take it on an empty stomach, take it on a full stomach. So it's not meant for you to go on a lifetime on it. You can take it for a period of time. But the good thing is there's also the Tribulus terrestris. This is the one. It's also known to help. It's a dietary supplement which talked about improving sexual function and the body due to its functions on the testosterone in the body. Now, it also has the Murina puama. I won't be able to pronounce this as well. This wood and the root are used to make the medicine, and these are also used to prevent sexual disorders and increase an interest in sexual activity. So these are meant to improve the sexual health and the issues around the hormonal effects around the menopausal time. So this one is called the Multi-Maca. That's the name of the product, if you want to remember it. Now, I've talked about how we already can benefit from our natural fruits and vegetables, a lifestyle of changing our daily habits. Now, there are some products which I'm going to run through, which can help us just to get the ball rolling. Now, we will see that a change of habits is very challenging. We talked about it last week. Change of habit can be challenging. So there are things which can get us started. Now, we've got different programs or different set programs or plans which have been put together, which one can consider to use so that it can help you on that journey of beginning to change those habits. Now, for example, there's this 4-day plan. This 4-day plan is called the DX4 or balancing system. What it does, it helps you think about, why am I looking after my body? You're purposefully thinking, why am I going to be looking after my body? It's going to encourage you to drink more water. It's going to encourage you to stop eating our sugary things or fatty foods. And you're purposefully saying, I'm not going to touch those things for 4 days. So it's a way to start disciplining ourselves and to consciously think about good things. Now, you'll see the program that it has for, we talked about it last week. I'll give you a recording of last week, which briefly talks about each program in detail. This is a 4-day, this is a 9-day program called the Cleanse 9, and this is the 15-day program called the F15. Now, what these programs are meant to do, they help us to start putting our lifestyle changes into practice. Remember those things I talked about in the first part, where I was showing you how we need good nutrients, we need lots of water, we need activity, we need good sleep, we need to consider what are we putting in our body. Sometimes we have to be guided and start the journey. So these are programs which one can guide themselves and start doing it. Now, this 4-day program, you'll see that on day number 3, you are looking forward to a green salad, because that's how the program says. On the 3rd day, that's when you're going to have a nice big green salad. If you have never known that salad it becomes a delicacy, you will look forward to that, because the first 2 days, you've been drinking fluids, you're being temperate, you're telling yourself, I'm not going to eat whatever, because the program is guiding you into what you're supposed to be doing. And then you're going to be encouraged to think about good things. And when you're eating those vegetables, woo, 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 it's like delicacy. Who had thought that salad is going to be something you're going to look forward to? Now, these are the things we can say this program can help you to take you to that journey. And then after 4 days, you can see how you feel. You are, you've managed to challenge yourself. It's short days, and you can think about how your mind is clear, how your body is going to get nutrients, how you're going to really challenge yourself to start looking yourself. And then if you want, you can follow on into a 9-day program where you're going to continue again. That program comes with a guide, and in there the common theme is about the aloe vera. The packs have got aloe vera in them as part of the detox and cleansing plan, so you can consider to have these pre-planned programs if you like. And then you can see after 9 days some people have really followed the plan, because it challenges you to do an activity, it challenges you to drink water, it challenges you to sleep on time, the amounts of food, the types of food, everything we talked about. So it's a way to begin your journey to look after yourself. Now, when you're beginning a journey, a journey starts, and then the journey has to continue. And we are talking of after those days which you've done, there are some principles you have to continue to implement. Things like which I've already talked about: sleeping on time, not eating late in the day, and not eating junk food, things which are not good for the body. So it's a program which can give you and guide you into what you're supposed to be doing. And then it proceeds onto a 15-day program. This is a follow-on program where the exercise is more intense, and you're actually going to be purposeful and increasing and setting in those habits to make them a lifestyle, so that it begin to change your lifestyle. So this can give you a guide if you like. Now, this is just a testimonial of my friend here. She did this 9-day program a while ago, and she was telling me her experience and how she found this program beneficial. Because after doing it, she really was happy that she lost some, she shed off some pounds, some kgs. And then she said one of the things she's learned is that she is able to say, I'm not going to eat heavy meals at night. That's something which she said that program has taught me, that I need to change some habits. Late at night, not eating heavy meals. She tries to eat her heavy meals daytime, and then at night it's just light. And she's happy that she's managed to at least maintain the weight which she wants to maintain, because these are some of the habits you want to carry on. So the program which we talked about is a starter of your journey, and then it helps you to improve. And we are saying we are happy to be guiding you with my friends, with Sister Laureen, with Sister Alice, and all of us. We are happy to help you, to guide you into when you choose to start those programs, because it gives you a starting point, and then you're going to continue with your journey. And obviously, if you choose to do the program full time, because we've got a plan which is coming, I'm just going to show you. We've got a plan which is going to start on the 6th of January. So you can start with a 4-day program, and it comes with the plant-based protein, aloe vera, and it encourages you to use the plant-based milks. So it's a vegetable plant-based program. It asks you not to use any animal products. And then you can choose to move on to a 9-day program, which I've talked about, and within 9 days. So after 4 days, you move on to the 9-day, and then you can choose to kickstart your nutritional plan, because it's going to be some things you need to challenge yourself. I need to change some habits, and then you move on, if you want, to the 15-day program, so you can choose which way you want to go about it. These are the things which are inside the 9-day box. There's the soluble fiber, aloe vera, the soya